This is a 1973 Chevy Nova. And in this video, we're going to go over how to make your car cool better after a R12 conversion to R134a. A lot of people complain that R134a does not cool as good as R12, but that's not necessarily true. It just takes some extra steps and some extra components to purchase in order for that to happen. In this video, we're not going to go over what it takes to convert your car from R12 to R134a. There are many YouTube videos about that, but there are very few videos to show you how you can maximize the cooling effect of your car. One of the first components you're going to have to purchase in order for your car to cool better is a condenser, and not just any condenser. You should purchase a high flow horizontal condenser. This condenser is not the old fin and tube type. It has smaller tubes but more tubes, because R134a require more cooling area to cool that type of refrigerant. This is a replacement for the old factory condenser for a Nova, and I think I got it from Old Air Products. And the reason I got a factory condenser is because I did not want to reline or reroute the wires, the tubing from the compressor and the dryer. This condenser is really plug and play, and once it's plug and play, you just add it, connect it to your lines, and go. There's no need for new additional lines. There's no need to reroute lines. It's just grab and go. Some classic cars don't have a replacement condenser, so I advise to get the biggest condenser that you can find that will fit your car. It will have more cooling area for R134a to cool. The second thing you're going to have to get are fans. These are two 10-inch fans I purchased from Summit Racing. I have a link below. But you can buy these same fans on eBay and Amazon. The only reason I use these fans or purchase these fans from Summit Racing is because I can just drive up to Summit Racing warehouse and buy them. There's no need for me to wait for shipping or anything like that. But you can find these same fans on eBay and Amazon for roughly $20-25. And I got them for $22 from Summit Racing. When I purchased the fans from Summit Racing, I also purchased Spall fan brackets. You should not use the zip ties and send a zip tie through that condenser. There's an opportunity you're going to break one of these fins, or you're going to break one of the tubes inside the condenser and ruin the entire condenser. These brackets are roughly $4 a piece, and they can be used on any eBay, Amazon fan that has this type of holder on it. The Spall bracket fits those types of fans, and it allows you not to push anything through the fan, through the condenser. Once you purchase the fans, of course, you're going to need two relays. You can use one relay, but it's really not safe. I advise to use 2 relays. And the reason for 2 relays is because each fan needs its own circuit. Back here, you can see my relays in that mouse nest there. But I'll clean that up when I clean this nasty engine bay and detail the motor and other stuff. That's not here or now, but right there are my 2 relays. Right there. The green wire is a trigger wire. And that trigger wire goes to this pressure switch. I have a POA valve eliminator, and this is not the original POA valve for this car. This is the eliminator. It's much cheaper, and it turns the car off when the AC pressure gets too high or gets too low. And it does it by this switch that is connected to this AC. This is the factory AC A6 compressor, and that's your power wire, the green wire. It goes to the switch inside the firewall to your dash. If you have the old POA valve and not this POA valve eliminator, just run your trigger switch from your relay to this switch here. And once you do that, every time your AC comes on, the fans comes on. And they'll stay on as long as the compressor is running. Another thing you also would need, if your car doesn't have one, is a shutoff valve for the heater box. That heater core is right next to this huge evaporator. Originally, there was a vacuum shutoff valve where the heater core tube goes to, and it would stop all water going into the heater core when the AC was on. But I don't have that anymore. It was replaced over the years or removed over the years. But now I just went to Home Depot and got a shutoff valve. I will turn this back on in the winter and leave it on, but throughout the summer I just turn it on and turn it off every once in a while so some water can flow in it. And when water flows in it, it'll stop it from rusting. That when you do a conversion with factory air, there's no need to change the evaporator. This evaporator cools better than any aftermarket evaporator from Old Air, any type of aftermarket AC system, because their evaporators are inside the car. But this evaporator is so large, they just kept it outside the car, and it's so large it cools much better and brings in more cool air because it has more space or area for the refrigerant to cool and blow into the car. You can get a new evaporator, but if you get a new evaporator, you can't clean them out like this one as well. If there's junk or metal or anything in there, it's hard to clean out because the tubes are so small. I also kept my A6 factory compressor. It's probably a replacement from the 70s or the 80s, but this is the old type of compressor. And it should work just as well as anything else. On a hot day, And here in Texas, when it's 105 degrees, this AC cools just as well as a new car because of this condenser and fan. The shutoff valve helps dramatically. It should be used, but it's not necessarily needed. But since that heater core is right next to this evaporator where those tubes go, those hoses go, it's right next to the evaporator. So if that's hot, this will not be as cold. So your evaporator will not be as cold if you have hot water flowing through the heater core. Again, quick video, some tips to make your car cool better after R12 to R134a conversion. Bye.